he has provided he has provided everything, even in the time of the worst circumstance of my life. Because imagine, I just opened my studio.
This episode is brought to you by
Time to shine, time to shine, shine bright, be the star you are, yeah. Time to shine, shine bright, be the star you are, yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome to Chat with Nick, and we're here at JANE ROCKSTAR Salon in Artesia, California. And ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Jane Magan Chang.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and thank you for having me, Miss Nick.
Yes, it's always a pleasure to be in your presence, Jane.
Me too.
So how are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. Despite of the cold, it's still God is good.
Yes, it
Amen.
is really, really cold, and today is actually a very nice day. It's really bright and sunny outside, and it's not too cold, so it's perfect. But we're here inside Jane Rockstar Salon, and it's really nice to be here. And we're having our WSDM water right here. It's perfect for what we're wearing, and look at her makeup. She looks so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. You as
Yes,
well.
and of course her hair is so awesome,
Thank you.
right? So when did you get started with hair coloring?
So back when I was 12 years old, I actually had that amazing moment at the salon with my mom where she was getting her first Japanese straightening. And I was just like, wow, how did they transform my mom's hair from curly to straight? And then they would just turn my mom's hair to red, to like anything that my mom wants. And I've always had that amazing, amazing vibe and amazing experience with her hairstylist. And I was like, oh, I actually love the art that they're giving towards my mom. And I actually I actually love music and arts. I used to do painting when I was in high school, and collaboration with this hair thing. Now I'm like, I didn't know that that's going to be the purpose of God towards me.
So how is it related to your love for the arts? Like how is hair coloring or hairstyling related to the arts?
I just love I just really love the art that it's giving, like it's bringing a lot of challenge towards me. So like, let's say, with hair coloring, it's if the client has a really challenging hair, like let's say they currently have like box dyes or even like permanent colors in their hair, it gives me excitement to like to turn their hair into what they want in just this short, like with the formulas. And also I love the vibrations of colors, the mixture of colors, the primary colors. It just gives me a lot of delight thoughts. That's why I like to combine it
Mm-hmm.
with what I do right now.
It really shows with her hair right now, right? And
Thank
so
you.
kanina sinasabi mo na this new passion of yours actually helps you live out your purpose and God's purpose for you. So can you tell us more about that?
Oh, yes, definitely. God's purpose, why He has brought me in this career, in this passion. So when I arrived here from the Philippines, I actually I actually originally planned to be to be like a nurse or a doctor, you know, and the hair actually was like my third option. And then I started to apply in college when I got here, and then they rejected me at first because they said you have to stay 1 year so that you can get approved.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, okay, I have to stay 1 year just right on time. That hair school, cosmetology school, is just 1 year. So I was like having this pre-planned things. I was planning everything, right? And then I was like, okay, while I'm going to cosmetology school, then I can go work and I can save up for college. And then I applied to cosmetology school, and right away they accepted me. with also grant. So I was like, wow, that's perfect. And then right after cosmetology school, I got my license, and I was going to nursing school right
Mm-hmm.
afterwards. And and during the nursing school, I was also working at the hair salons. So I was building my experience and all that. And at the same time, I'm building my connections with people in my school, anywhere that anywhere. So I am still hesitant. I'm like, I'm not going to just be a hairstylist my whole life. I told that to myself. I'm not going to be, because in the Filipino culture or in the Asian culture, you have to have this kind of title so that you can, you can really prove yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like my whole family is actually all nurses and doctors, like in the Magan side. So I was like, I'm not going to be a hairstylist. Not until 2020 that I finally opened my first hair salon in Long Beach area. It was 100 square feet salon. And right in the start, I was like, okay, I'm going to open the business, but at the same time, I'm still hesitant that this is going to be my end career. Pandemic hit for the first 2 months. After after that, God has shown me how amazing He was. He has provided He has provided everything, even in the time of the worst circumstance of my life. Because imagine, I just opened my studio with for like January. I opened my studio in 2020, and March everything closed down. I was like, Lord, what am I gonna do now? I don't know what's going to happen with me. Like, I have these things, I have rent, I have all that. And then that's where God was telling me, like, surrender to me. Surrender your plans, surrender everything. Right off that, God has proven me that, you know what, when you surrender to me, I'm gonna take care of you. So that's the time when He actually has given me the word from the Bible, when He said that Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope in a future. So even despite of that pandemic time,
Mm-hmm.
clients were just actually like calling me. They were the ones who's coming. And I couldn't even imagine, because that time, even my rent payment, the even my rent payment in the studio, they waived it. So I was like, okay, God, you're doing something here. That's when I started to surrender everything, and then the word of God, everything just falls down. This is your calling to me,
So
Lord.
I'm curious. So can you take us back to that moment? Like, how did you find out that that was God's plan? Like, were you reading some scriptures? Were you reading the Bible? Or were you attending some fellowship session? Or what was that like? Like, how did was there like a light bulb moment? What was that like?
The light bulb moment, I actually didn't have that right away spark with God that this is going to be your calling. It's mostly when I started to surrender my heart to Him, and I made Him as my focus. My clients getting started, like, my clients were just opening up to me, and then the words that are coming out from my mouth are not lightly anymore. So it means like it encourages them. So
Mm-hmm.
when my clients would just pour out any problems, any prayer requests that they have for me, it's not Jane who's speaking anymore. Because this is the thing about when you're actually, like, when you surrender your heart to Him, it is not you who's gonna speak. It is actually directed. Whatever you sing, whatever you speak, it just comes flowing naturally toward these people. And it's amazing because every time I have this encounter with my clients, it gets to
Mm-hmm.
be an appoint. It's like a divine appointment. It's an appointment with encouragement, and then it's appointment of lifting up towards them. And then that's where He has shown me that this is my plan for you. I actually put you in this moment, even at the start, I knew that you're going to be here because I have appointed you to become a light towards these people. Because a lot of women, a lot of us are actually going through a lot of challenges. And everyone needed that words of encouragement that comes from
Mhm.
God. And I couldn't understand that for a longest time because I was not surrendering my plans towards him.
Mhm.
So when I started surrendering my plans towards him, then that's where his the light has come through. That's why Jane Rockstar, the Jane Rockstar Salon, it actually gave that meaning that the Lord is my rock and my salvation. He is the stronghold. He is going to be the fortress of everyone. And the star means that these women that you encounter, you're going to let them know that they're actually a star in my eyes, that they can shine brightly when they have me.
So would you say that you're sort of like the guiding light
Um,
in a way?
I wouldn't say that I'm gonna like I'm a guiding light. Maybe I'm just a vessel. I would say that probably this platform or this salon like as a vessel because like even towards my stylist towards them their hearts are actually like being more like receptive towards one another. It's just amazing even like how we work here, like how we have this flow in here. You can really feel that God is moving from the inside to the clients to the surrounding. So even like with marketing
Mm-hmm.
strategy, like it's always God who's actually proved like showing towards the neighborhood to everyone that you know what guys, come here. Um one thing that I'm really thankful of, like I never really put too much effort even in like the
Mm-hmm.
marketing, like pay here, pay there, pay all of that, like this marketing strategy. It's like really definitely God who's speaking towards the people, you know.
And so when you were growing up, like take us to when you were growing up, did you always look for that guidance from God, or did you have some kind of idea that there's always a higher purpose to everything? Like what were you doing when you were younger?
Oh, when I was younger, I was in a lot of plays. I I've always been into music, so I've always liked connection with people at the same time. But when I was younger, my dad and my mom have have a big impact into my faith. They have I grew up in church, but the thing is that I didn't have like a relationship at first. That's why
Mm-hmm.
it's different when you're just basing your like the standard of your faith based on religion and a personal relationship. So when I was younger, I had that foundation that yes, I know the Lord, but I didn't have a personal connection with him. Like and the wisdom, the like the wisdom, the encounter that I have is when I develop a personal relationship with God. And yes, I knew that there's purpose in our lives even when I was younger, but it was not clear. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was like more cloudy, like I'm just gonna go live with what my parents wants for me, with what my family wants for me. That's what my mentality was. But later on, later on in life, when you go through that tough challenges, when you actually had that surrenderance moment, that's when you know what, God will be able to give you that wisdom, that everything is opening up. It all adds up that, wow, life is not just simple. Life is not, we can live a life that is easy path, but also there's a life where you can go through that purposeful life, but at the same time, that road will be narrower.
Mm-hmm.
So it means it has more challenge, but it's more meaningful, and it can leave a legendary impact to the people that you surround with. So it's just basically an easier life, which is more, yes, this road will be easy. Like that's nice, all planned out, everything, your plans. But when you go through the plan that He has for you, like total, like the surrenderance, it'll be narrower, but at the same time, it'll be more purposeful. So it just got better when later on, after all the things that He has shown.
Hmm.
Yes.
And for those viewers who want to start out on their own or want to have a business of their own, what kind of challenges did you go through as you were trying to figure out what to do? Originally, you wanted to be a nurse or to
Hmm.
be in the medical field, but you chose a different path. I'm assuming that came with a lot of challenges. So, what were those challenges, and how were you able to live through those challenges and make yourself better?
Yes. So, as an example, with the hair industry, right? Even in music industry, the start will be the starting will be the most difficult time because you're building anywhere. So, even with business, when you guys have plans and you guys have a passion in business, as long as you know that you have a heart into what you're doing, you gotta trust the process. You really gotta trust the process. Not only that, you have to have faith. It's not about faking it. It's about faithing it actually. So as long as you know in your heart that you have something, that you have a love on what you're doing, then you gotta trust. You gotta trust the Lord. Number one, trust God. Number two, trust the wisdom that He's gonna have for you. When you trust God, the number one thing, foundation wise, everything falls into places. Number two, you gotta have trust with what the Lord has for you, prayer and supplication, everything. Number three, you gotta surround yourself to the people who actually has a stronger mentality than
Mm-hmm.
you, at the same time who has stronger faith than you. So it's definitely you have to have that strong faith and strong knowledge at the same time. So that's the thing, guys. So if you guys have any plans for business, don't give up. Okay, just
Yes,
pursue whatever the Lord has called for you.
that is such a meaningful piece of advice for everybody from Jane. You mentioned something about music. You said earlier that just like going into business, there are also a lot of challenges that come with music. And so, can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into singing?
Oh, yes. I actually started singing when I was 8 years old. The first song that really that I knew was the "You Are My Strength When I Am Weak." It's called "All in All." That was the first song, and that's where when I started singing that in front of the congregation, I was like, wow, I really wanna serve God with the voice that He has given me. And at first, it was definitely a big challenge, because at the same time, I'm like, I have that doubts in my head, like, oh, I'm not good enough,
Mhm.
and later on, when I just kept singing, I just kept doing what God has for me, especially in church. He put everything in place. He has given me the connection, even in my high school. He has given me a good band,
Mhm.
a band. And in my college days here as well in United States, He has connected me with a choir. So as long as you just keep singing and you just keep going to the music um, that you know that you're trusting the music that God has for you, then He will give you all the connections that you have. And until now, even though I do hair, I still pursue my love on music by combining arts and music at the same time here in the salon.
Yes, and I actually noticed that there's actually karaoke here at the salon, which is
Yes.
awesome. And so, do your customers sing, all of your customers, or do they have to sing before you even give them some kind of service?
Um, they can sing or they don't have to sing. Depends on what their heart tells them. But actually, the story behind why I have a karaoke here in the salon, my dad actually has a karaoke business. My dad is into business too. Um, he had raised us four all girls, two nurses with the business that he has, which is actually karaoke. And growing up, every time people would rent a karaoke machine from him, he brings me and just sings out. I'm like the opener.
Oh, so you were like a demo girl.
I'm like a demo girl. Every time he gets like an order to an event, because in the Philippines, everyone loves karaoke in their events, birthday, weddings, they have karaoke, right? So he always have me as the opener so that it can brighten up already everyone. Like sing, don't be shy. So that's the story.
Oh my God, that is so awesome.
Yes, he's actually the one who requested to really put a karaoke here
Mhm.
inside the
That
salon.
is so cool. So would you say that your dad and your mom are very supportive of you and what you're doing?
My mom and my dad are now very, very supportive. And they whenever I have whenever I'm going through some tough challenges, especially with the extension of the nails and spa, they were just lifting me up. They were just lifting me up in spirit. And they were like, you know what? You have gone through worse from the past year. Like, are you still gonna doubt what God is gonna do to you this time? So I'm just really blessed to have a family that's, supportive, super supportive at the same time.
So you mentioned that you now have a nail salon.
Mm-hmm.
And so when did that start? How did that come into play? Because originally you were into hairstyling and hair coloring.
Mm-hmm.
So what led you to add a nail salon to your business?
Oh, okay. So it's actually one of my loyal client her name is Ava. She has actually mentioned to me like, Jane, it will be amazing if you actually have if you actually imparted nails here. So it can be an all-in-one place. And I'm like, oh wow, why not? An all-in-one place where actually a lot of people can just come here and then
Mm-hmm.
have their hair done, have their nails done, have their facial, have their eyebrows. And when I opened that up to my sister, which is her name's Michelle, she was like being supportive. And she was like, okay, I'll support you in that. So praise God, it took 1 year and 1 month to get approved finally with this one. It was a challenge, but we just opened recently, like a couple of months ago. It's still growing, but we're just trusting the process.
In cosmetology school, was nails part of your curriculum as a hairstylist as well? Was it all in one? Did you
Mhm.
have to learn all of that? Hair, nail, makeup, all in one?
Oh, yes, yes. In cosmetology school, if you guys wanna do it one day, yes, you guys will learn everything from hair, skin, nails, even the anatomy and the chemistry of all parts.
Like physiology and anatomy are part of it too?
Everything,
Oh my
all
gosh.
parts. Yes, and you guys will have a state board exam, and yeah, it's just really fun.
And that is so cool that she finds it really fun. And so going back to music, what kind of music do you like listening to in your pastime?
In my past, I will to be honest, whenever I feel like I just want to feel like I have chill, I like listening to R&B songs. And when I feel like I want to challenge my voice, I like to listen to Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, Mariah Carey. They're a big part of that. And whenever of course I need some lifting in my spirit, I listen to gospel music.
So who among the singers that you mentioned are your favorites?
Right now, the songs of Ceci Winans are actually is the one who has helped me recently with the challenges that I'm going through, and also lifting up in spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the songs of always Whitney Houston is my favorite, my most favorite. She has a big voice,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually Whitney and Ceci Winans are best friends.
Yeah, so everybody, do you want to hear Jane sing a few lines? Okay, I hear yes. So
Okay.
can you sing us a few lines?
Few lines. Yes, yes, definitely. Okay. Many nights we prayed with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts, a hopeful song we barely understood. No, we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. There can be miracles when you believe, though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve? When you believe, somehow you will. You will when you believe.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. And so in just a few minutes, we were able to find out that miracles do happen as long as you believe. And that was
Amen.
Jane's story. And thank you so much. And I know you have something really, really big coming up.
Yes, guys, we have my first official concert produced by the Wisdom Water Production. And I would like to invite you guys in February 25 at 6 p.m. It's $69. And it comes with a buffet with lobster and steak. And you guys will enjoy music with Michael and Zarina and Didi Canada as my guest performers as well. So I would love to delight you guys with the songs that we have. And why not, right? I'll see you guys there.
Yes, and we look forward to you being there on February 25th, once again at Noipit's Cerritos. Yes.
Noipit's Cerritos, guys.
And there's lobster and steak. Oh my
I
gosh.
just can't
Yeah,
wait
lobster
for
and
that.
steak buffet. Can you believe it?
That's still a miracle.
I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
excited. Yes, that is a miracle. If you believe it will happen, it will be a miracle, and we will have steak and lobster
Amen.
at Noipit's Cerritos.
Yes. We're so excited.
Thank you so much, Jane, and we wish you luck in everything that you do, and you're definitely destined for this. And that's the title of her show, Destined.
Destined.
Yeah, let's
My favorite.
toast to that,
Toast to
to your
that.
show, and thank you to WSDM Wisdom Water for our Think Water.
Yes.
We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Time to shine.
Coming soon on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and MickDiazPresents.com. Don't miss out. Want to be seen? Want to be heard? Want lots of exposure? Ask us how.